I'm Austin.
Hi, I'm Josh.
I'm Damien.
And we're Teens Talk Hockey.
Fans watching it right now. Quick whisper. Look at the effort of not just getting right in feet of on the arm. Behind that defender. Goes. Ovechkin trying to drag it through.
Hello, TeensTalkHockey fans. Welcome to the show today. We are back from our 3-week hiatus. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to put out episodes like I just said because I was sick. I had cadets, and that sounded incredibly scripted. And I, unfortunately, can't do this alone. So,
Sorry, especially
I
about the drama
apologize.
again.
I missed 6 weeks, by the way. Hi, fans must have missed me.
you lack dedication to the show.
Dedication.
Barely.
And Jerome McGinley, sorry about that episode. We just ran out of time.
Yeah, so you know what? We're gonna do a playoff preview today because again, on Friday I'm going to be in Montreal. Not again, but I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be gone I'm gonna be the one gone for once. They're actually gonna be.
Can we film here without you here?
Absolutely not. I don't trust you guys.
Aww.
I don't trust you guys in my house
Then again,
Why
we couldn't
not?
even have to edit the episode.
Why? You can't trust us in your house.
because you guys are just rampaging all our food.
You can trust us if you put
Besides, you guys
the
can't
law
even
on.
edit videos. So.
Can you just do this for me? Troll Montreal. Just walk through the streets of Montreal with a Toronto Maple Leafs hat.
No.
I just want to
the
see how many
Toronto
times
flag.
you get mugged.
Here,
I don't want to be mugged.
We'll give you millions of dollars in your pocket so I can take them.
No.
Put
You
a
unfortunately don't
bulletproof
have that
vest on.
amount of money. And actually, I could legally prove this to a judge because I do have a verbal agreement right here. So I don't think you want to get into that.
Oh my god.
But anyway.
We're only teenagers on Teens Talk Hockey. Do you want to bring the court into this?
Yes.
What happens when we
I'm
become
assuming-
on young adults? Young adults talk hockey.
That doesn't roll off the tongue near as well as
Why?
It's 20s Talk Hockey.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we are going to move into our playoff previews now. We have all picked some teams that we like or we think
That might
that have a legitimate shot of winning the Stanley Cup.
So sorry,
Some
the
teams that you
Oilers aren't
like.
in there.
But hey, go Oilers for next year.
Yay! Next year, top pick again.
Yeah, they're gonna get the top pick, eh? Yep. I
Good
guess
chance.
technically they still have a chance.
They have a better chance than they did last year.
No.
Well, like if they had been in this position, because they wouldn't have had a chance. Because you.
Oh, yeah, I
Lose the
suppose.
last 4 games so we can be in dead last.
Blues, Edmonton Blues.
The reason they put in this new system is so that people won't tank it.
Anyway, that's enough about the non-playoff teams. Anyway, moving on. Josh and Damien are going to be up first with their picks. They had the same picks, and I had my different ones, so they just
He's
talked
different.
So they're going to
Here's
talk.
a list of our contenders. First, we're going to start off with the Western Conference.
Number 1 is Chicago Blackhawks.
They can be very streaky, which is a good thing and a bad thing, but they've just formed all their streaks into good streaks.
They can just destroy a lot of teams.
Then again, they did have a 2-loss streak there when Edmonton beat them, and the Avalanche. That's kind of sad
Yeah.
that Chicago lost to some of the worst teams in the league.
So far, they only have 6 regulation losses. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
still pretty good.
And they have a lot of blowout games, too.
Yes, they have tons of low games. They've won like
8-1.
8-1, but they've also lost 6-4.
That's true.
But for some reason, their statistics still say they win the majority of games 3-2.
And they have excellent forwards with Kane, Taves, Hossa, and Sharp, right?
Yep, all of those guys are pretty good. They got both the Patricks, well, unless you're counting O'Sullivan, who doesn't really play at all.
He played for Edmonton.
Yeah, but he doesn't play anymore. He's like an AHL dude.
Yeah, with no teeth.
Yeah, and now the next team is Anaheim. They're not really a great team on paper, but
Yeah, they don't have much star power, but
they find ways to win games.
yeah, I don't get it.
And like earlier in the season, they completely blew out Vancouver, but then Vancouver blew them out. So
Yeah,
that pretty much
really
evens
got
them up.
Corey Schneider established as a backup.
That evens them up when they're coming up to Vancouver, who is our third contender that we have for the Cup.
Oh yeah, perfect goaltending. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about the players from Anaheim with Solani, Getzlaff, and
Perry.
Bobby Ryan, and Perry.
Yeah, and then
Vancouver.
you
Good
got
goaltending,
Vancouver.
solid goaltenders.
And
both
both of-
goalies can play as a starter. Corey Schneider and Roberto Luongo.
Both of them are honestly starters, so really, it's not a bad thing that they didn't trade Luongo.
And their top three forward lines are solid with the Sedins and
Kessler, Hamhuis. Wait, Hamhuis is a defenseman. That's bad.
By the way, on defensemen, Bieksa is good, but he's hurt, but he'll be back.
He should be back. And they actually have one of the best defensive cores in the entire league. Honestly, when you got yourself Alexander Edler, Kevin Bieksa, a couple of other guys that aren't coming to my mind right now, except for Cam Barker, who's not even that good.
That just came to your mind.
That just came to my mind. And so,
now,
next team.
LA, bunch of star power with star players. Like
Yep, they got
Kopitar, Brown,
Quick, Doughty, Carter,
Richards.
Richards, and a whole bunch of other people. And really, they have tons of stars.
Well, of course they have star powers. They're in LA. They're stars.
But really, Brown hasn't really showed it this year. He hasn't done enough work, but Kopitar is definitely done
Yeah, but
that.
Brown's still a good captain leading his team.
And Carter's been awesome this year, too.
I don't get it. But...
He's been pretty good. And they're defending the cup, so they got even more hunger to get it again.
Yeah, so that's our Western Conference. Moving on to the East, we only got two teams. One of them is Pittsburgh Penguins.
And Pittsburgh, they are obviously the best
who
team in
wins
the East.
15 games in a row?
Yeah, they had Chicago.
Chicago didn't do that.
Yeah, they did.
When?
The beginning of the season.
Weird. But, no, that was without regulation losses, though. They still lost in overtime throughout the streak.
True.
No, they won 15 games in a row dead on without the regulation, without the overtime losses.
Yeah, but Chicago had a better point streak. I'd rather have
Yeah,
a big
but-
point streak than a big win streak.
Yeah, but come on, Pittsburgh.
And
Crosby will be possibly back in the playoffs.
Evgeny is playing his first game tonight. Since he gets back, he should be great. He's their second line center. They have tons of depth.
And
on
same
center.
deal with Vancouver with perfect goaltending. Fleury and Volkun. Volkun can play.
Volkun's more of a backup starter.
He's a perfect backup, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's a good backup, but he's borderline for whether he could be a starter.
But he did good with Fleury there.
He's kind of like James Reimer a couple of years ago. Actually, not a couple.
We're talking about this year.
I know, but he's kind of like James Reimer last year, where James Reimer was borderline starter and borderline backup. But this year, he definitely proved himself to be the number one goaltender on his team.
And now our very biased one, but come on, we're cheering for them.
Toronto!
Toronto Maple Leafs!
Yeah! Anyways, Toronto, yes, it may be a slightly biased pick, but I've been cheering for Toronto since I was
And
in
they've
diapers.
been doing very good. They missed the playoffs for 9 years, and it's time.
Yeah. Honestly, do you know how full that Air Canada Center is? They're going to be filled with some of the hungriest fans ever, and they're kind of similar to Anaheim in a way. They're not the best team on paper, but they find ways to win games.
Yeah.
And another thing...
It's not like last year, but they won games.
Yeah, but this year, it's really different because, like, shot totals are completely misleading when you're looking at the game recaps. Because if you looked at their last win, 4-1 against the Ottawa Senators, they were outshot 50-22. But James Reimer, stellar performance there. Not 29, 49 saves off of 50 shots.
Yeah, I know. I don't know much about the Maple Leafs, but they're better than Montreal. That's right, fans. You've been called out. See you in the playoffs.
Yeah, go Toronto! Woo!
Go in.
Toronto! Pittsburgh! Non-biasness!
Non-biasness!
Woo!
Would there be a goal horn for that?
I'm not sure.
Is it bad or say bias?
Hello, TeensTalkHockey fans. Now I'm going to show you my playoff contenders. My playoff contenders consist of like the really, really strong teams and the teams that are really, really hot right now. My first contender's got to be Chicago from the Western Conference. Chicago's unbelievable. Got so much star power. Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, Patrick Sharp, Marian Hossa, Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook. Yeah, there's a lot of really, really good players in that team. And to boot, they have Ray Emery and Corey Crawford and net. Both really, really solid goalies. I mean, they're nothing special, but they're both really, really good. So, anyway, Chicago's excellent, and you know, they got a lot of depth, and one more thing, if they catch on fire and they're very streaky, they can just dominate. Look at that streak they had at the beginning of the season, where they only lost three games in overtime. Like huge, massive streak. They nearly had like a perfect season. Well, not really a perfect season, but you know what I mean. It was a huge streak. It was great. But anyway, moving on. My second contender from the West has got to be Anaheim. Anaheim, they're not really that good a team on paper. They have lots of, not lots of it. They have lots of star power. And like Ryan Getzlaf, mostly among their forwards. Among Ryan Getzlaf, Corey Perry, Teemu Selanne, and Bobby Ryan. All these 4 players can make or break a game for you. That's how good they are. I don't know how they can break a game for you, but they can make a game for you. They can win you a game. And you know what, like, yeah, Anaheim also they find ways to win really, really tough games. That's evidenced by their perfect record against Chicago this season. Chicago is good a team they are. They struggled against Anaheim. Sorry, Chicago fans. Anaheim just finds ways to win games. Anyway, moving on. My third contender has got to be the Vancouver Canucks. The Vancouver Canucks are tremendous team depth-wise. There's the first 3 forward lines mostly consist of like second line forwards. And, well, I guess Maxim Lapierre really isn't a second line forward, but guys like Chris Higgins, Jannik Hansen, and Chris Higgins, Jannik Hansen, Mason Rivera, those guys are second line wingers. That just shows how much depth they have. And plus they have they have Henrik Sedin, Derek Roy, and Ryan Kessler as your 3 centermen. That's almost rivaling Pittsburgh. That's how good they are. Anyway, but the most notable thing about Vancouver is their D-core. Their D-core is probably, I would say, the best in the league. They have Jason Garrison, Dan Hamhuis, Alexander Edler, Kevin Bieksa, Chris Tanev, and I guess they have some depth defensemen, and Alberts, Barker, and Frank Corrado. And all in all, Vancouver's a very strong overall team. Moving on. The next team I would say has the last team I guess in the West that I'd say that's in contention has got to be the Los Angeles Kings. They're the defending Stanley Cup champions. They got lots of star power in Carter, Kopitar, Richards, Brown, Quick, and Doughty. There are lots of star power on that team all around. Plus, like I just said, they've won the cup, so they know what it takes to win. The team has a winning attitude. They're a strong contender. Moving on to the Eastern Conference, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins. Obviously, the Pittsburgh Penguins, when they're healthy, I would say they're the best team in the league. They're better than Chicago when they're healthy. However, when they're not healthy like they are now, I guess they got Malkin back tonight, but they're missing Crosby. He's the key centerpiece of that team. When they're not healthy like they are now, they're not the best team in the league. However, this team, when they're healthy and hot, they're the best team in the league. Forwards group is so good, especially their center depth. They're getting great surprises from Chris Kunitz and Pascal Dupuis this season. This team is set to win the cup. Anyway, moving on to my second contender of sorts, the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins, this team just like reeks of depth. It just expels it. But anyway, this team, all of their lines consist of like second line forwards, like every single line. Like even some of their fourth liners are like really good players. Also, their D-core consists of Chara. I mean, you can't get much better than that. So, Chara, he's like the epitome of the complete defenseman, the hard shot, the big body check, the strong defensive stick play. He's the epitome of a good defenseman. But anyway, moving on. My third contender in the Eastern Conference, I know I'm going to get a little bit of flack for saying this, but I'm going to say the Washington Capitals. These guys are on fire right now. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. That's just excellent, to say the least. They got Ovechkin, who's probably the hottest player in the league right now. He's scored like 18 goals in the last 18 games or something like that. Also, the rest of their team's on fire as well. And to boot, I guess I just said that, but their goalie is also on fire as well, Braden Holtby. This team is the hottest team in the league right now, and if they stay hot going into the playoffs, who knows how much damage they could do. On my fourth and my last contender in the Eastern Conference, I gotta say the New York Rangers. Even though the New York Rangers have slumped a bit and not exceeded expectations this season, the New York Rangers are still a great team on paper. With Rick Nash and Brad Richards. Brad Richards is kind of underachieved this season, but Rick Nash has led that team. Some of those goals in that one game against Toronto where he scored 2 goals, they were both beauties. It just showed how dominating he can be when he's playing well. Rick Nash is a maker game player. Plus they have Henrik Lundqvist who can steal an entire playoff series. The New York Rangers are one of the best teams going in the playoffs. Kind of. Not record-wise, but on paper they are. Anyway, those are my playoff contenders. Yes, those are our playoff contenders. Yes, we did pick a lot of teams, but that just goes to show you that anything can happen in the playoffs.
Indeed.
Yes. Who knows? Even someone out of nowhere, Columbus can win the Stanley Cup
if they make it.
Who am I?
They didn't even win their first playoff game.
Yeah, they're the only team in the NHL
Watch Columbus.
to have a
Watch
win in the playoffs.
Columbus never win in the playoffs except for this year where they win 16 times.
Jeez.
But they're not even in the playoffs technically yet.
Yeah, they haven't even clinched it.
I guess Rick Nash isn't laughing at them right now.
No.
It's a
Imagine if he loses a cup to Columbus.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that actually.
The one time.
Plus Gabbard's
One time.
Gabbard's on the team now too.
So
Yeah,
they'll be
just
laughing
switch it
at
up.
the Rangers.
Yeah.
And Dubisky and Anisimov, so they'll laugh at them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we are gonna say who we actually think will win the cup.
Okay, personally for myself, I'm gonna go a little off the board here as compared to their picks. Actually, you know what? Yeah, okay, I'll talk first. I'm just gonna say maybe if I put your picks first, it'll make myself more special. But
Oh, we're not making you special.
I'm
We'll
not
talk about
special enough for you. My mom says I'm very special.
it. We're all
Okay.
special.
okay. Anyway,
Unless you're into foundations.
okay. I don't care. Anyway, my picks for this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm gonna go a little off the board here. In the Western Conference, this isn't biased by any stretch. I know I'm a Vancouver fan, but it's not biased. It's
Let's just keep going.
I'm gonna pick the Vancouver Canucks to come out of the West. And for two reasons. They can beat Anaheim and they can beat Chicago.
And he's biased.
And they've proven this season they can beat LA as well. Those are my other three.
Chicago beats Vancouver more times though.
No, Vancouver won 2 out of 3 games and they all played them all 3 times.
In a season, but
Sure,
anything can happen in the
okay.
playoffs.
And the past last and they've won like more games overall like the past while. So even
Yeah.
last year or so.
But who's your other team?
In the Eastern Conference, I'm gonna pick the Washington Capitals. I'm gonna pick the Washington Capitals. You wanna know why? There's not a team in the league that's taller.
They might not even make the playoffs. Who knows? Winnipeg could knock them out tonight.
Yeah.
No!
It's a good game they're going to have today.
They're up 1-0 right now. That's the last time I checked.
Shut up.
Oh, Capitals.
Oh, dang.
Hey.
Go Canada!
But if the Capitals get that 3rd seed and they win the division, providing they win the division, I think they'll be in position to win the Eastern Conference. I think they can beat anybody in that conference. Personally, I think they can.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, they can beat Pittsburgh.
No.
They can. They think they won like 4-2 against them this year.
Well, that's meaning that you're not looking at the beginning of the season when they...
It's like when their teams are playing up to speed. Pittsburgh's been playing up to speed the whole year. Capitals have been playing up to speed for like the past 20 games. So,
I guess so. So who do you think's going to win?
in the finals, Vancouver, actually I'm going to start with Washington. Washington does have the best player in the whole series, Ovechkin. Leads the league in goals right now with 30. However, since Vancouver I think has a better offense, a better defense, defensive group, and a better goaltending, I'm going to pick the Vancouver Canucks in 6 games. Just because, in playoff series like teams squeak out wins and stuff, I'm going to just give Washington the 2 victories. I'm going to pick Vancouver in 6 games. This isn't a biased pick. It's just how the playoff series are working for me.
It's not biased at all.
It's biased.
It's not biased though. It's not a biased pick.
Stop
Okay.
cracking your voice and let Josh talk.
Yeah, but the Vancouver Canucks, I see are going to win the cup in 6 games over the Washington Capitals.
Okay, that's his picks. And I also picked the Vancouver Canucks. Not because of any bias, and not because I'm wearing this, because it's the only thing I apparently can wear that works with the green screen. But anyways, I'm picking the Vancouver Canucks because, like Austin said, they can beat Chicago, they can beat Anaheim, and they have also beat LA. And so that's meaning that if they don't lose to a bad team in the first round like they did last year,
Damn you, quick.
You're allowed to
Anyways.
swear on camera?
anyways,
Censor that.
I'm also going to pick Pittsburgh. Obviously, they're the best team in the East. They played super hot this entire year. They only have 10 losses. They've never lost in OT. So if games do happen to go to OT, they are most likely going to win it. And the matchup, they are fairly evenly matched teams. Pittsburgh with the stronger offense, and Vancouver with the stronger defense. Now, you know the saying, offense wins games, defense wins championships. Vancouver and Pittsburgh, Vancouver might win because of the defense, but Pittsburgh might win because of the offense. But that is also assuming that both teams are entirely healthy. Both teams have been plagued with injuries throughout the year. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins. They've lost both Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin at the exact same time.
Neil and Chris Tang were also injured for a bit.
Yes, they also were. But when you lose your top 2 centers, your top 2 players, all at the same time, they lost them. That's obvious. But they still won, which is good. And right now, the Vancouver Canucks, they lost Bieksa right now.
They had They had lost Raw and Higgins for most of the year.
And
No,
Kessler.
Kessler. I meant Kessler. Sorry, not
I was gonna say
Higgins. No, Wall's been healthy. Like
Yeah.
Kessler and
Higgins.
Higgins have been gone have been periodically injured.
Yes. And Kessler's injury would have been bigger if it was a full season as well.
He's lived in 15 games this year.
I know. Yeah. Kessler, he's been gone most of the year. He's pretty ready for the playoffs still. And if it comes down to it, whichever team is hurt more will probably lose. Because if Pittsburgh's hurt, then Vancouver will win. If Vancouver's hurt, Pittsburgh will win. And if it comes down to both them being hurt, I see Pittsburgh or Vancouver squeaking it out. So that's why I'm calling it a Game 7.
You're not gonna pick a winner. All right. I was going to say money, but I'll try to do too.
Yeah.
That's your
Alright,
picks.
so if my predictions go as planned, I would see the two hot teams, Pittsburgh and Chicago, in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Very
Yes.
original.
Yeah.
Top 2 teams.
Yeah, nothing,
Very original.
Nothing special
You're like
at all.
You're like TSN's commentators last year. They picked Vancouver and Pittsburgh to win next. I guess Pittsburgh was the 4th seed. But
No, but
still, like people are like, oh, let's pick Vancouver. Like
Yeah.
every comment analyst picked Vancouver and Pittsburgh, and then Mark Crawford goes with the board and picks New Jersey and gets it right.
no, Pittsburgh
I
has.
didn't get it right.
Well, I got them in the finals though. You
True, true.
You have to pick your finalists.
I'm talking here. Now, Pittsburgh has good defense.
They have good defensemen.
Good defensive core. All right.
I got Chris Letang.
And they got good offense, but they're injured. Now Chicago, they got Hossa, Taves, Kane, all those people.
Forgot
Players.
Sharp.
Sharp is
Sharp.
They'll cut you like a knife, like that girl in
And
school cut
Seabrook's
me
not that
on my
bad.
arm.
Duncan Keith.
Now,
is good to
this is going to be a close series, all right? Close games, game by game. Game 7, but I have to give that to Chicago because Pittsburgh is very unhealthy.
Then again, you also have to look at it. They're the top 2 teams, but they've never played each other this year.
Well,
Personally-
yeah, because they canceled all.
Personally,
the
if I were to make a pick, I would pick Chicago and Pittsburgh in 6 games.
Yeah, but I have to say Game 7 for them.
All right.
It's a close game.
It's
But
close.
if Pittsburgh comes back with Sidney Crosby and Malkin, I would say it's a close series. Like, I'm just giving it to Chicago, but it can go either way.
I mean, it also makes sense though. Chicago's the home ice advantage as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they got that game 7 home.
Well, it depends. That's not entirely true yet.
Well, remember Vancouver, and they got the home
Yeah,
ice
they got a
advantage.
3-point lead with 3 games.
They got a 3-point lead, yeah, but if they lose, which they did lose a game just the other night.
Well, I mean, you have Vancouver showing you they can beat any team.
Well, hey, remember Vancouver? They
And
had
they
home ice
also lost to
advantage.
Phoenix. 3-2.
Oh yeah, they did, I guess, too, in the shootout. So
Vancouver's home ice advantage. They lost to the Bruins.
yeah, that's kind of stinking Tim Thomas. Canucks couldn't score.
You
any
had
goals.
stinking Luongo and
Canucks
stinking
couldn't score any
Schneider.
goals in that series.
Honestly, I think the only reason Vancouver hasn't won a cup yet is because it always comes down to there's always a better goaltender out there.
And, well, in '94, it was more so that they just got outplayed by like a much better team. Like they just met up with like a New York Rangers with like Mark Messier, Brian Leach, they had Kevin Lowe, and
The
they had
ex-Edmonton Oilers, Lowe and Messier. beating
Anderson.
Vancouver.
Anderson's on the team too.
Yeah, but honestly,
So
that was
tech-
just
Alex
stupid.
Josh.
Josh, technically, go Oilers.
Yeah, Oilers!
This time they can beat the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup, though, because they're winning Eastern.
Cheers for Kevin Barker.
Shut up.
No. Cam Barker might even get scratched once Kevin Bieksa is back.
He's been scratched a lot this year.
If Kevin
Yeah,
Bieksa returns,
scratched
he could
like
be scratched
me.
for all you know.
Yeah. But anyway, oh god, your breath stinks.
Really? Let me smell. No,
How about no? But anyway, I'm taking Vancouver, Washington. Vancouver in 6. He's taking Vancouver, Pittsburgh. Game 7.
I'm
undecided.
Chicago, Pittsburgh in 7.
Chicago in 7. Anyway, that is our episode. I'm Austin.
I'm Josh.
I'm Damien.
And we're Teens Talk Hockey.